So there's a big thing going on with this Oklahoma monument. Of course, why not exploit an economy? And so all these other people out there with the spaghetti monster and the Seinfeld's beer can monument, Festivus pole. I find that you have one type of group of people who feel as though they're more special than the others. So they want to get this monument, like the Ten Commandments, up. They'll even have laws that will justify it being there or protect it to be there, prevent those bad people from taking it away. But I think it should be an exploitation of the rule. In other words, if what is good for the goose should be and will be good for the gander, it is the First Amendment. So if you're going to go and sponsor one religious iconic, you should have them all. Not just the Satanic monument. You should have the atheist. You should have a statue of Buddha. You should have Ganesha. You should have Shiva. You should have all of them. And people are like, oh, don't, because it'll cause this kind of clusterfuck. I want a clusterfuck. I want state capitals to be choked with over 100 religious monuments. Then it'll show a perspective of insignificance of the Ten Commandments. People claim a lot of things, but if they are seen firsthand how it might seem to be a majority religion, but there are plenty out there that aren't within that same paradigm, I think it'll be awakening. I think even perhaps in some cases a voluntary retraction of the Ten Commandments would happen. People are afraid of escalation, like prayer back in school. Be careful what you wish for, because prayer is for everybody, not just for one. And some Christian groups are trying to make it so it is just for one, because it's their God. Well, I'm happy for you. Do your own Christian church. Go through your Christian church to make a Christian school. Power to you. You can choose what prayer you want. Public school, yes, you'll have a spot for mats for the Muslims to pray. You'll have incense being burnt for others who pray another way. So in this regards, I think it should be very inclusive. And at that point, basically open up the floodgates. Get people involved who are part of a non-common religion. And then at that point, again, you have choked up not just the state capital, you choked up the schools, you've choked up everything, because now political correctness, or at least someone wants to have one uppance over the other, has a reality check that there is an equality. There is. What is good for the goose should be good for the gander. What should be one should be for all. Inclusive, or just don't bring it into the light at one point. Just get rid of it. So, but I think this is a great exercise. I think it should be done. Not because I'm a Satanist. I think it should be because it's about equality. I don't think a Ten Commandments should be the only thing up there. I think a spaghetti monster plate would be even better. But hey, that's just me. Like I said, inclusive. Bring it all or don't bring it. Bring it all or don't bring it. Period. So now if you have a Ten Commandments monument, you should have an area designated for all of that. Religious symbology, bring them. Get a Wicca. Get a big old pentacle. You know, have the Baphomet, have the Wicca, have the pentacle, to have the triple moon. I think a triple moon would be awesome. I think a statue of Buddha would be great. You know, rub its little belly. Then you go off and you go find some Hindu. Fuck, Hinduism's got tons of freaking church deities. Then you got that's like a polytheistic religion group, huh? So I think you get all that. I mean, I think there should be some type of direction for Mecca. I think there should be all kinds. I want, like I said, every state capital that does allow a Ten Commandments, or any government building that allows the Ten Commandments, should have all of the other religious symbols there, and just choke the fuck out of that group, of that environment. So, and therefore, when you have the Ten Commandments here, then you bring up all the other guys around, well, then it isn't as significant anymore, because it's one of many things. And at that point, it shows that there's a lot more out there than you think. That's just how I am. You know, maybe have a cutout of the OTO symbology, the oblong-looking symbol that they use, or the Hermetic Star of Thelema. You should have, you know, I'm telling you, I think my coexist symbol would work great. Throw that up there. So when you look at it, I honestly believe we should have it. It will be a great mental exercise to break not only stereotype, but it will also put up or shut up with the First Amendment. So I see it not as a religious diversity thing or cultural, but more about the Constitution. It is the First Amendment. If you're going to allow this to happen with one group, you have to allow it for others. And then if you don't, then you're being discriminatory. So this is a tough lesson for a state to learn. You can be religiously intolerant, but you can't be religiously discriminatory or prejudice. So as a state, you're going to fuck up. So once you allow one, you're going to allow them all, whether you like it or not. Because if, like Oklahoma, passed a law, apparently, to protect or to have it allowed, those Ten Commandments, that same law is going to be exploited to allow the Baphomet. And I think everything else should be there too. And I think it'll be great. It's a great exercise, because I can see the floodgates opening, because we're going to be open with claws. I could start my own church now, or another church, for instance, like one already. I'll start one with a singularity, make a point to make a monument up in Tallahassee. They deny me, then I can go after them for religious discrimination. So I don't know which church I'm going to create. You know, another church, a spaghetti monster, maybe a chapel for that. Who knows? But that's the point of it all. You allow one, bring them all. And be careful what you wish for, because you'll be surprised what comes out of the woodwork or out of the darkness. That is the beautiful part about this whole thing. You know, you want prayer in school? Be careful what you wish for. Some parts of America are going to be very, very interested in knowing what's out there. Or better yet, discriminate against one, and you'll know the cost of being prejudiced towards other belief systems under the First Amendment. So that's the beauty of it. I think this is going to open up a huge can of worms. It's going to cause a volume of chaos that they themselves created. All you need is participants to join, and I think it'll be awesome. So when it comes to the Satanic Monument, I wish them well, because I know there's going to be a long line of monuments to soon follow. And I think that's going to be awesome. So inclusivity, bring everybody in. If you don't like it, then get rid of everybody. That's how it is. The funny thing about the Constitution, it still exists. Use it or lose it. Take care. Bye for now.